I'm glad you girls are getting along. I might actually be able to remove the crate in a week or so. Alright, you know what? Maybe I'll see if I can find a snack for you girls because you're being so good. I'll be back. Okay. Here, I got a little something for you girls. Oh, you girls got food. You girls got food. You don't need sunflower seeds. You're still growing. Don't try it. Don't try it. I know you want to get down there, but do not press your luck. So just a very brief explanation on what I did to kind of protect these new girls and give them their own safe space. What you saw was actually a small dog crate, and I do have this sort of plastic tray that sits on the bottom of it. But if you remove that plastic tray, you'll notice the bottom of the crates really only have a couple of crossbars, so they do create pretty large openings. Now, the other hens technically can still fit through those large openings, so what I did was push the crate into the corner of the run, but I left just enough room so that the little ones could get in behind and actually go all the way around the crate so they can come in and out as they choose. Meanwhile, the bigger hens can't squeeze their butts in through there, so they're kind of hesitant because they don't want to get stuck. So they kind of leave them alone. They're really only pecking and bullying them because they want to establish the order. Once that order is established, once they realize that these new girls, they're no threat to them, they start to slowly leave them alone. But that whole process, it takes a couple of weeks. If you were to just leave them in there and let them fend for themselves in a space that small, it would be a bloodbath. It would not be pretty. They'd get pecked at, their feathers would be pulled out, they would get kicked and scratched. And then things just get worse, because once they start bleeding, it's like chum in the water for a lot of hens to really start picking on them. So the idea is for them to get close to each other, to feel comfortable with each other, but not necessarily be able to come in contact with each other. This is probably the first time I've introduced these two. We really just got these two. Camera Girl and Mrs. Honeydew have named them. I can't remember the names. I want to say they named them after the two best friends in Clueless. If you guys know, the original four are named after Mean Girls. That's why we have Janice here. That's Regina right there. That's Karen. And then this one right here is Gretchen. I don't remember. So I call them Cinnamon and Brandy. What do you think? Cinnamon there, she is a Welsummer. I was gonna say Wyandotte. She's a Welsummer. And this here, Brandy, she is a another Sussex like the rest of these. Either way, I'm happy to see you girls are behaving. Let's keep it up. And then I can finally get rid of this crate. They kind of perch on here when they're feeling comfortable, but the bottom of the cage has larger holes and they can kind of slide in and sort of have their own little safe space, just so they don't get pecked and, bullied by the other girls. Now, the young ones, they're a little brave. They get beat up time and time again, but they just get back up and they keep trying. They keep trying to integrate with the flock, because at the end of the day, these hens, they realize that they're stronger together. And even though they pick on them, it's just an understanding for everyone to know where their place is in the flock. But ultimately, they will accept them into the flock because those little girls are persistent. You might even notice, if you have your own hens and you are slowly integrating, even if they have a safe space, as I set up for them, they'll kind of play chicken with the other chickens. You know, they'll kind of come out, they'll see, hey, is everything cool? They'll get chased back in. Every now and then they get caught and they might lose a feather or two, but they persist. They'll stick their nose back out and they'll just keep creeping in, see if they can grab a bite without getting bullied, and eventually they'll get left alone, and eventually they'll get accepted. But it's going to take some time. Like I said, maybe a couple of weeks. These Sussex, they're so big. I'm really considering building an expansion here to give more room, push this out and give more room in the run, because they really are big birds. So tell me what you think. Should I expand the chicken coop? Do you think they're going to be happy? Once I take all of this ground cover out of there, they'll definitely have more room to share. But these girls get pretty big. So we've got mostly Sussex and we've got one well summer. We were going to get 2 well summers, but my chicken dealer was only able to hatch out one. Thankfully, she turned out to be a hen. The others just didn't make it. And actually one other did make it, but he turned out to be a rooster, and so I think he graduated to freezer camp. That's the way it goes sometimes, and honestly, a rooster in a run this small, it just wouldn't make sense, I think. So maybe at the farm, you never know. I'm definitely making plans for a big upgrade at the farm, but that's probably still about a year or 2 away. Anyways, as always, you guys be good. I'll see you on the next one.